and welcome back to Room for Improvement, a channel dedicated to sharing our family's favorite tips, tricks, DIYs, and favorite products. Today, I'm going to talk about ways that you can fundraise and afford an adoption without having to take out a loan or completely empty out your savings. If you are new to the channel, you probably are wondering why some of my children don't look just like me. We have 6 children, and our 5 oldest are adopted. We are in the final stages of finishing up our first domestic adoption. Everyone else was through foster care. I feel like so often people get discouraged by adoption simply by the cost. I know I was. Our oldest daughter is our first domestic adoption. And honestly, we've had guardianship of her for 5 years, and I was terrified to do the adoption process because of the cost. I knew financially we couldn't afford $30,000. Heck, we couldn't even afford $10,000. And so I couldn't figure out how we would afford it, and so honestly for many years I allowed that to be the reason we didn't adopt her. So this video will give you a few easy ideas on how you can adopt without breaking the bank. The first way you can adopt without breaking the bank is adopt through foster care. Each of our foster care adoptions only cost us $100. The state wants these kids to be adopted and to be in permanent homes, so they will do everything they can to ensure that the financial cost is not a burden on any family. These children also get Medi-Cal or the equivalent in other states until they're 18, as well as a monthly stipend to help any cost for the care of the child. For one of our kids, they have a pretty significant medical condition that causes us to drive to the closest big city all the time, as well as severe food allergies, and so we have to buy special foods just for this child. So the state then was able to help us by giving us a little extra to ensure that the cost of his allergies and his heart condition will never be a burden on our family. If foster care is really not something that you're wanting to look for and you'd rather do domestic or international, these are a few tips that we learned on how to help with the cost of the adoption. The first thing that I found is that people want to help. They want kids adopted and they want to see happy families. And so when so many people found out that our daughter was being adopted, they wanted to rally around us and make sure the financial burden was not on us. As soon as you announce it, you will actually get people wanting to give you money. That was honestly hard for me, being someone that unfortunately is a very proud person. I didn't want people's money, but I also knew that we couldn't afford the price tag. And so we had multiple amazing people that just gave us enough money to get the process started. We were able to fund the home study, which was the first part, very quickly. And then the second part, which is the big chunk, is where we really needed some help. And so the next 2 tips are kind of how we got through the second chunk of the adoption, which would be attorney's fees, the post-adoption home study, which I didn't even know was the thing because we had only adopted through foster care, which is a whole second home study after the child is placed in your home, which for us costs almost $3,000, but it can cost up to $7,000 depending on the case and the circumstances. The first thing we did to offset all the costs of adoption was to do a t-shirt fundraiser through bonfire.com. This is actually our shirt. We thought of just a catchy slogan, something that our family really actually believed in, and life is better together was what we decided. And then we launched it. Our goal was 37 shirts. Like I said before, people want to help you. They want to feel like they are part of it, and people even want to feel some sort of ownership over it as well. And so people were so excited to buy these shirts that we sold almost 200 within the first week. That was able to pay for our whole second part, which was the post-placement home study. We loved working with Bonfire. They were incredibly easy to work with. Their communication was amazing. The customer service was beyond my wildest dreams. They were on top of it. Any email, call, anything, they were on top of it, and they were able to fix orders, adjust stuff within minutes, and I was so thankful for that. The other benefit of having a t-shirt fundraiser is that then you get to walk around town and see people wearing your shirt. It's one of my favorite things to see people wearing our shirt and to see people standing behind a slogan that our family truly believes in. The next thing we did was we did a grant through lifesong.org. And basically, we opted for the matching grant. So a private donor gives a dollar-to-dollar amount up to a certain amount. So anyone that was able to give to this account would also, get a tax write-off, which was a huge thing for people. And then the second thing was then we were able to match it. So we were able to tell friends and family that wanted to do that they could just send a check or their credit card info straight to LifeSong. They got a tax write-off, and that money was just deposited into an account for us. And then it was matched, then was able to fund the next huge major portion. And a few other ideas to fund adoptions is having a yard sale. I've had multiple friends make over $1,000 just simply by putting adoption fundraiser yard sale in their front yard. People want to help and people want to be part of the process, like I've said many times through this video. Other options is car washes, and then there's even businesses that want to match. So I know a lot of businesses in our city will do 20% of all profits that specific time frame would go to the adoption or to whatever event that they're helping fund. If you have any further questions on adoption fundraising or ways you can get involved, or if you just even have questions about adoption or foster care or domestic adoption, please feel free to email me or DM me. I will be glad to help you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and we will see you in our next video.